Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there in the world. It's your day, so enjoy it. Today, here on Stay in the Water, we're continuing our Community Impact Series. And today we have the opportunity to talk with the leader of the Norfolk, Virginia Alumni chapter of Kappa Fraternity Incorporated. The chapter is making an indelible impression and change in our community. It's Stay in the Water. I'm your host, Dr. Eric LaVille. We'll be right back in just a moment. Welcome back. It's Stay in the Water. I'm your host, Dr. Eric LaVille. We want to thank you again for joining us on this beautiful, beautiful Mother's Day here in the year of 2023. To all the mothers out there, this is your day. We want you to truly enjoy it. To my mothers, I love you. Thank you for all that you've done for us. And to the mother in our home, sweetheart, we love you as well. You know, I'm excited for this particular series that we do because we talk about the community. And in talking about the community, we're able to talk with organizations and people in this area. As you know, we broadcast live from the campus of the Norfolk State University on WNSB Hot 91, the soul of VA. So many of you know about these organizations and the people that are here. And today we have a phenomenal opportunity to talk with my good friend and leader of my chapter, my fraternity, Kappa Fraternity Incorporated, Mr. Tim Lamb. Brother Lamb, how you feel today?
Good morning. Good morning. How's it going? Everything's going well. Everything's going well. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Well, you know, I mentioned earlier, before we delve into the impact of the Norfolk, Virginia Alumni chapter of Kappa Fraternity Incorporated, I wanted to give you a moment in order to give a shout out to the mothers in your life.
Hey, look, so I like to thank God for blessing me with a great mother that gave birth to me. So I just want to wish you a happy Mother's Day and let you know that I love you. Then to all the other mothers I know, aunties, happy Mother's Day to you all as well.
Absolutely. You know, I like to say all the time, you know, there's a song that says, it's a man's world, but it wouldn't be a thing without a woman. Well, we wouldn't have anything in this society without our mothers. So I think this day that we set aside, I think our mothers should be honored every day. So if you still have your mothers that are with you, please make sure that you're honoring them, giving them all the just due that they're are due, because truly, you know, our mothers are special.
Yes, they are.
You know, now this particular series that we do here on Stay in the Water is one that I truly love because, you know, we do a lot of things. This is the show that I've been fortunate enough to create and also host for almost 3 years now, where we bring movers and shakers and policymakers to you to discuss issues important to the community, to our listeners. And I believe in bringing individuals who are doing the work in the community and those who want to impact the community on the air to meet the listeners right where they are. So with that, you know, I developed this series called Community Impact because I think it's so important for us to identify and talk with individuals that we know that are doing the work on the ground. You know, we know that A lot of people have these big ideas, you know, to do work and change communities, but we've got people that are already doing the work.
Yes, we do.
You know, and there's none other organization I thought should be highlighted, you know, during this series than our very own chapter.
Oh, yes.
of our fraternity. You know, so before we get into the Norfolk, Virginia Alumni chapter of Kappa Fraternity Incorporated, I want to talk a little bit about your story, you know, about becoming a Kappa man. Well, where did that all start?
Man, so it all started back in high school. I would say I had a couple of mentors. One being my history teacher, Aronde Andrews, and then the other being my pastor at that particular time, Reverend Dr. Cedric Kirkland Harris. Rest in peace, sir. They both were Kappas, and I did not know it at the time. So my pastor, I only realized he was a Kappa when I was inducted into the fraternity, and his name would come up. But I always saw him with the brothers, but just didn't know at that time. And then for my high school teacher, Aronde Andrews, I used to notice his brand on his arm in school, and when we were in school in class, and ask him, "What is that? What is that?" And he used to shun me off, like, you don't know nothing about that. Maybe you'll find out later in life, or whatever the case may be. So after high school, I get to ODU. They're not on the yard at the time. They weren't on the yard the entire time I was there. But they were supposed to come back probably like 07 or 09, and I graduated in 09. And at that time, I had performed internships at Portsmouth School Board, and that's where I met Joseph L. Wiggins.
Yes.
And he was keeping me in the loop at the time on, oh, they're going to come back, they're going to come back. Hey, they never came back when I was in school. So fast forward, 2012 came, and I had the opportunity to join this illustrious organization. And spring of 12, I became a member of this great bond. And 11 years forward, here I am now sitting before you as the Polemarch of the Norfolk, Virginia Alumni Chapter, a.k.a. the Rock of the Commonwealth.
Absolutely. The Rock of the Commonwealth. You know, you mentioned something that I think is very important, not only in what we do, but all organizations that look to impact young men and young women. And you said there were individuals that you looked up to.
Yes.
The mentorship part. How important was it to have those men in your life that you looked up to?
So first off, going back to Andrews, he kept me in line in school. So I remember freshman year, one of the very first things he did after 30 minutes or so in the class, he moved me from the back of the class to the front of the class. And to me, that stuck with me forever because he saw me being in the back of the class was no good. He had told me to be quiet a few times already. And that just stuck with me. So ever since then, I started to sit, for the most part, in the front of the classroom. You know, it helps me stay engaged, helps me not become busy with other things to take my attention away from the class itself. So just keeping me focused and grounded in that sense when it comes to the book work. And my pastor, I mean, he kept me grounded when it came to my faith, kept me believing. He took me through a couple hard times, especially when my grandmother passed, you know. And then when he passed away, that hit home kind of hard. And, you know, he was a strong man. I just like the way they both carried themselves. You know, not to know what Kappa was at that particular time in my life. And then when I had the opportunity to join the organization, look back and seeing, it was like, I could see the characteristics in them, not even knowing that they were brothers at the time.
You know, that's strong because that showed that their character, their integrity, their strength spoke to you before any letter spoke to you.
Oh yes, and that's how it should be. That's how it should be. The character, the integrity of the individual, yes, and not the organization. That's what helps make the organization great and robust as it is, the individuals.
Absolutely. That's why we say that it's not the organization that makes you, but you make the organization.
Oh yes. But let's not get it twisted. The organization, it does help us though. So it gives us some ups. So but it's, again though, it's the individual, but
Absolutely. So, you know, when we talk about the men that impacted your life, and you are now leading men of the Rock of the Commonwealth, you know, the great chapter, Norfolk, Virginia Alumni Chapter of Kappa Psi Fraternity Incorporated. Tell us a little bit about, you know, what you wanted to do, your vision for the chapter when you became leader.
So, first of all, I didn't want the chapter to crash and burn under my leadership. But getting through this first year, I think I did okay. But at the same time, my vision for the chapter was, first, we have our Guide Right program, which is one of the biggest and oldest programs in fraternity itself. And it's our largest one within the chapter that we actively have and we cater to. So with this program, we take eighth graders to seniors, eighth grade middle school to seniors at high school, and we mentor these young men. We care, and some of them we feed. It just all depends what's going on at the particular time in their lives. But this program is to help prepare these young men for life after high school, regardless if they're going to matriculate onto college or if they're going to enter the workforce. So for us, I mean, we pray and hope that they will go on to college as well. But the main goal is just to become a successful citizen of the community is our main focus with that. So with this, man, we teach the guys. So this is all young men. Just to say again, we teach the guys how to dress. We teach them just how to be able to do resumes once it's time, how to apply for, how to conduct interviews and things such like that. We teach them management skills, finance skills. We try to teach them about health. And one of the biggest things, as we know, just trying to be able to help them maneuver through society as we see it now for African young men faced with what they are faced with, as well as most are faced with in today's time. So we just try to be their guide as they're going through life, through those pivotal years of their life in high school.
Absolutely. Now, Brother Lamb, some people may say, well, somebody told me about Kappa League. Now, explain the continuity between God Right and Kappa League, just in case someone gets it mixed up. Okay,
so God Right is our overall program for mentoring young men, but Kappa League, that's our special group of young men who we live and breathe with. We do some of this. We do the same. We have the same principles of God Right, but it is more intense in Kappa League. So with these particular individuals, we're showing them the business aspect of an organization. So they have a president, a treasurer, a secretary, a sergeant at arms, and things of the sort. So we're trying to show them what it looks like in a boardroom at an early age in life, and so they can have these skill sets once they go on to college. And for the majority of the time, our Kappa Leaguers, they do go on to college, become Kappas or other Greek organizations, Greek letter organizations out there. And also they graduate college, which is the most important thing we would like to see. So, our Kappa Leaguers, they're very special and dear to us. And, they're our heart.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, my oldest son was a recipient of a scholarship.
Okay.
From the Kappa League, it really helped us to put us over the top, his first year, to where he was going to school not pretty much, but we didn't have to come out of our pocket.
Oh, nice.
Not $1. Now, of course, when he called, asked for money, of course, but we do it for our children. So, we know the impact, on our living, our home of the Kappa League and what they do scholarship-wise to really promote and help young men. One thing when I looked at, I always knew I wanted to be a Kappa man myself. It goes all the way back, like you, to high school and then, of course, college, when knowing one to become a part and becoming a part through the Norfolk, Virginia Alumni chapter. One thing I said is that what attracted me is the God Right, the Kappa League program, because I believe that our young men, especially our young black men, are, in my opinion, the most important right now in our community to reach.
Yes.
To help guide in the right direction.
Exactly.
Mold and shape, so that they can become the future leaders of their home. Well, first of all, their own lives.
Exactly.
Secondly, of their homes, and then of their community, and really the leaders of this world. Brother Lamb, if you could, tell us a little bit about, one major program that comes to mind with God Right, or that we did with Kappa League, with the young Kappa League leaguers, that kind of stands out to say, that program or that event, I see how it made a difference in those young men's lives.
So we take the young men on a tour of colleges. So must give a shout out to Dr. Juan Alexander and Derek Paramore for all that they do for our Guy Right and Kappa Leaguers. So they take the young men on a road trip to the different colleges and just show them what it's like. So I know the parents thank us and the kids definitely enjoy it as well. So I know the feedback that we get from the group chat with the parents, such and such love this, such and such loves this. Oh, he wasn't even thinking about going to the school at first, but now he's seen a campus, and he was like, "Hey, Mom, I think I want to go to school now." So just being able to open their minds up, their eyes to see different things like that, and help impress upon them the benefit of going to a college or university is great.
Absolutely. Again, shout out to Dr. Juan Alexander and Brother Paramore for the work that they've done and will continue to do. And, of course, more brothers being involved, with the organization and the Kappa Leaguers as well. It's Stay the Water. I'm your host, Dr. Eric Claville. You're joining us for our Community Impact Series. It's Mother's Day. And today we have the honor to talk with my Polemarch of my chapter of the Norfolk, Virginia Alumni chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. Today we're highlighting the organization and what this great fraternity does in the community and the things that they do, not just for young men, but also for the community as a whole. But Lamp, one other aspect of the chapter is that they're involved not just with young men, but in the community on the ground. Our social action program that we have. Tell us a little bit about how the fraternity impacts the community on a social level.
So our social action program, this is where we're in the grassroots here. We're banging and knocking on doors, whether it's for voting rights or even just taking food to our assisted living homes and things like that. This is just where we just want to be out in the community, helping the community itself. Everyone that's involved in the community, not just our young men, but our elderly, our parents, and even the children. So this is a time where we would take out to just enjoy the kids, play with the kids, read to the kids in the schools, in the elementary schools, or even play with them as well on the playground. Sometimes there have been times we've been called just to come do a stroll at a elementary school or even high school, just so the kids can see, hey, this is what goes on in college as well. It's about the books, but there is fun aspects of it as well.
Good, clean fun.
Good, clean fun, exactly. Yes, got to stay clean. But what else is there? We also have, one of the things, another initiative is our Learn to Live initiative, which is where we partner up with the Norfolk Police Department, and we go into the school systems and just try to have that conversation amongst the students and the police officers so we could try to bridge that gap. And speaking of bridging gaps, another shout out, another shameless plug to Brother J.P. Page, City Councilman for Ward 4 for Norfolk.
Yes.
He's a member of our chapter as well.
And a shoe product as well.
As well. And working with him so we could become more engaged and involved in the communities as well. He's starting to put some things in front of us that can help us do more banging on doors. Hey, trying to start that stronger relationship between our chapter and the community as a whole.
Absolutely. Again, good brothers doing good all across the community, achievement in every field of human endeavor. But not just in the community or with young men, but, also helping out the less fortunate and those who were kind of dealt, some may say, an unfair hand. And speaking of our St. Jude initiative of the national Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, but also on the local level. Tell us a little bit about how, we as an organization have adopted St. Jude as one of our initiatives and what we do.
So as a fraternity as a whole, Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated has adopted St. Jude as one of the initiatives, as you just said, because there's been brothers who have been recipients of St. Jude for their families, and that right there is enough. And I mean, there's been heavyweighted brothers that receive assistance from this. So for us to give back to them, it shouldn't even be questioned at all. And so we just take it upon ourselves now that we're in it to continue to do what we do. I would also like to say Norfolk, Virginia Alumni leads the race in donating the funds to St. Jude for our region. So let's continue to keep up the good work, and all the chapters out there that's making their fundraising goals in support of St. Jude.
Yo, Noops.
Yo.
You know, if you've seen the commercials, and I think all of us have seen them, of St. Jude, you know, I tell you what, there are very, 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 very few things that can touch me like that. And I barely make it through a commercial. You know, so for us as an organization to do that, to give to another organization that does so much when families are in a desperate need at that particular time, and probably at their lowest point, you know, where they need a pick-me-up, you know, to help stand, you know, that says a lot.
It does. It definitely does. And just to be part of that, whether it's me as an individual or part of the chapter or fraternity, just being part of that, being able to give back to something bigger that's bigger than myself is it's a rewarding feeling.
Absolutely. And when we talk about giving back to something bigger than ourselves, you know, we have not just young brothers in the chapter, middle-aged professional, but we have what we call senior Kappas.
Yes, yes.
You know, and these are men that have been with the organization for decades and that have given so much of their time. Tell us about how we as a chapter also impact, you know, those of our senior citizens and our senior Kappas.
Yeah, so our senior Kappas and our 50-year brothers, the esteemed gentlemen. So for our 50-year brothers, these are the brothers who's been in the fraternity for 50 years or more. And to see these brothers still alive and vibrant and youthful, sharp-minded, witty as they are is unbelievable. We're talking about brothers that's in mid-70s to early 90s to still come into chapter meetings, whether they're driving themselves or a brother is going to pick them up and bring them in. I mean, it's a great feeling just to sit at the feet of these brothers and listen to their stories, how they toiled through their time when they came in to the fraternity until what it is now. And even headbutting against some of them because of change. You know, we got some out there that are still going. Hey man, they going out kicking and fighting like their way or the highway. And we're like, come on, brother, it's not the '60s no more. But yeah, we love them to death. We love them to death. If it wasn't for them, there would be no us. So we're off the back of those, just as our founders. As we continue to keep this organization going for another 111 years.
Absolutely. And we're also an organization and a chapter that loves our military. You know, myself as a veteran, my father who's passed away as a veteran, his father, my grandfather's a veteran, and veterans all through the family. We have our military affairs. Tell us a little bit about how our chapter impact our military.
So we like to consider our chapter as a pass-through chapter when it comes to our military. So we have our homestead of military residents within the chapter, and then we have those brothers who are stationed here for however long they're stationed here in the area, and they find home with us, and it's a great feeling because as many of you know, the military takes you all around the world. Absolutely. And to stop here in the 757 and to want to become a part of Norfolk Alumni, that's just a great feeling for the chapter itself and all those who are resident here to the area. Yes. So what Military Affairs does, it just tries to expand our relationship with the military within our chapter, the overall military, and the community itself, just trying to bring some light to what it is our brothers in the military do for the fraternity and the community itself.
Absolutely. In our closing moments that we have, there are a lot of young men that see us. They see the Kappa men, and just like we saw Kappa men, and say, I want to be like that. Give us, if you could, give us a golden nugget, some advice that you would give to a young man seeking to be a part of this noble clan.
One thing I would say, already be doing the work. Because once you have the opportunity and actually join this organization, that's when it's going to get heavy. Because what you're doing beforehand is going to automatically multiply. So if you're already used to being involved in the community, in different organizations, serving, working, it's going to make being part of this organization a lot easier, because you're going to have to serve in the community, serving in the chapter, or wherever else it needs to do. Plus, being in the organization is going to teach you for more things as you continue to grow as become a viable citizen.
Absolutely. And I'll be remiss if I don't mention our foundation arm of our chapter, the Norfolk Virginia Alumni Chapter Foundation. Tell us a little bit about Save Our Youth.
Yeah, so Save Our Youth Foundation. This is more so our arm where we are able to extend ourselves more monetarily to the community. So with this, in conjunction with the chapter, we give out scholarships. We give out donations to individuals in needs on a as-need basis. So say like if a brother knows of a family or individual that's going through some rough times, they'll bring it to the foundation or chapter, and we'll work together to try to do what we can to actually help that family get themselves back up into a place where they could continue to succeed.
Absolutely. And I know recently there was a major storm, and we were able to help a family assist them.
Oh, yes. So a young lady, she lost her home in the storm, and so she was down on luck real bad at the particular time. But we got word, and we were able to pay her deposit, which is first and last month's rent, for her to get a new place. Wow. That happened during Thanksgiving last year. So they were able, her and her family were able to have a better Christmas.
Yes.
Since they had a place of their own.
Absolutely. That goes a long way, because especially during the holidays, there's one thing that is just more important than anything, and that's family.
Yes.
Being able to have a roof over your head, a warm meal, and a place to call home. So for me, the Norfolk Virginia Alumni Chapter of our great fraternity, I call it home. It's the place where, I'm serving. It's a place where you're leading us, and a place where many, many great men have come through and are there. So once again, doing the work in the community, on the ground, making an impact, that's what Kappa does. For those of you that want to learn more about this great clan and the things that we do, or you want to get involved, meaning get involved in the different programs or give to the institution, give to our foundation, you can go to our website at norfolknoops.com. Learn more about it. And for those of you seeking to be a part of this noble clan, to be a Kappa man, also reach out and learn more about it. Or if you're on a college campus, reach out to the chapter that's there on your college campus. I'd like to give a shout out to Spring 23 A Club, to my guys, my LBs. So once again, we're coming to the end of the show, and we'd like to thank all of you for listening, because without you, the supporters, we couldn't do what we do. Brother Lamb, thank you so much, our brother.
Thank you for having me, Eric. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Great pleasure.
And happy Mother's Day once again to all of the wonderful mothers out there. We love you. We thank you for all that you've done for us. And today is your day. We honor you. And until next time, as always, be good, be great, and God bless. And we'll see you